Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. Your boy King Keto, Big Brandon Carter. We got a lot we want to cover today, man. Shit's about to get crazy. We had some technical difficulties. That's why we late, man. But whatever, man. Good things come to those who wait. Y'all waited for me, and I'm a good thing. So here you come, and I'm about to come. Pause. Yeah. You know what it is, motherfucker. You know what it is. It's that Victory Talk podcast, the only podcast that comes on Tuesday and Thursday at 7 Eastern Standard Time that's focused on helping you build your money, your muscle, and your mindset. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, BBC, the king of ketosis, King Keto, Gymnasium Jesus. But I'm not alone. What? Oh, somebody, Nemo wants me to test the audio. What happened? Oh, it's not coming. Something's wrong, man. Y'all not hearing my audio? I think they are hearing it. They hear it. All right. I'm not alone. That the person who just interrupted me for some bullshit was was the podcast producer. All right, the best producer in the game, the homie straight out of Iran. Nemo, what's good, homie?
Everything is great. Super excited. Let's get it.
The sound is coming from my laptop and this.
And I'm not hearing, but everyone's hearing.
As long as they hearing it, man, it's good, man. It's good, man. Fuck it. We just gonna do it like that, man. With no protection. We just going raw, man. We hearing the whole shit. All right. Not only is it me and the homie Nima, you know what I'm saying? But we're also joined by my girlfriend. Big old titty girlfriend. She is manning the super chats. And she's screening your comments. You say some bullshit, she gonna kick you out, man. She gonna kick you out forever. All right. Listen, guys. We have two sponsors. We got a lot we want to talk about today. I'm gonna tell you some things that help you get rich, get some money. Might talk about some fitness shit. I'm gonna answer all your super chats. All right, and then we also gonna have the homie Young Candlestick coming through to talk about the market recap, get so we can go snatch some money out the stock market, crypto markets. You feel me? You know how we roll. All right. But first we got to get into the sponsors. The first sponsor of this episode is sponsored by me, Big Brandon Carter. I'm sponsored by myself. These other motherfuckers be out here trying to sell you motherfucking mattresses on their podcast. Yo, this is sponsored by fucking mattress. Fucking high-tech mattresses. Motherfuckers want to sell you underwear. MeUndies, Tommy John. Man, fuck that shit. Unless, of course, you fucking underwear niggas want to pay me. I'll wear that shit on my head. You know what I'm saying? For the right amount of money. But motherfuckers want to athletic greens. Motherfucker, I don't want to drink vegetables unless, of course, they pay me enough money. Right amount of money, man. I'll drink all your green powder. All right. But this one is just sponsored by me. I'm sponsoring. All right. Next week, I'm doing a live masterclass where I will break down and show you exactly how to grow your online fitness business. And I'm going to stay on there. I'm going to answer questions with you. I'm going to really just show you how to make money with your online fitness business, even if you don't have a lot of experience, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a big following, right? I've helped over 15,000 people grow successful online fitness businesses. Some of them, y'all know, like some of them have become pretty popular online. They weren't popular when they started working with me, but some of them are popular right now, like FitX Fearless, Corey Armstrong. There's a lot of them, and some other motherfuckers that I used to run their whole business. They don't want me saying it, but it's all good, you know. Listen, I'm gonna show you how to grow your online fitness business too. It's the first link in the description, Nima. Yeah. First link in the description is gonna be a free live masterclass. I'm gonna break the whole shit down for you. I'm gonna stay on there and answer all your questions. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And guess what? I'm really not gonna sell you anything on the show. I'm just gonna give you the game. I'm not gonna sell you anything. All right. So click the link in the description. Join that shit right now. All right. Also, next, hold on, man. Can you close that door? The next sponsor we have is a product that me and Nima have been working on for some time. It's called Thought Repellent. Thought Repellent, the easy to apply spray to keep the hose away. All right. Because once you start, I know a lot of you guys, you out here trying to Riz. I think that's what the kids are saying, Riz. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to get girls. How do I talk to girls? Listen, once you get your money, muscle, and mindset right, you won't have to fucking worry about how to get girls. You're gonna be like, how do I keep these hoes away from me? It's too many hoes. And that's where Thought Repellent comes in, right? Once you really start balling, all right? And this is gonna be out by summertime if we get enough super chats, right? It's because this is funded by the victory unit, the Victinators, by you. I could have went on Shark Tank. I could have went to some venture capitalists, angel investors, and said, yo, man, I got this product that's going to change the world. But then I would have to answer to Mark Cuban and motherfucking Mr. Wonderful or Lori. You know what I'm saying? Or the old one, the old lady. Barbara, old Barbara. I fucks with Barbara. She my favorite one. But anyway, I had a lot of jokes, man, but it's inappropriate. That's somebody's mama. That's somebody's grandmama. So I'm gonna chill. But anyway, I ain't want to answer to the sharks from the Shark Tank. All right. I only want to answer to you, the Victinators. That's why y'all gonna fund this shit with your super chats. We get enough super chats by summertime. This is really coming out. This is real. It's a real thing. And we got two heroes who have already contributed to the fund. Y'all need to thank them because they making Thought Repellent become a reality. What were they talking about, man?
We have Leo. Yo, BBC, I've been working 80 plus hours a week.
Good
what
shit.
Do you suggest I do to get 116 plus a week? I plan to do this for 3 to 6 months, then go back to 80 plus.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen anyone do that shit, right? I don't know if I've seen anyone do that shit, right? Because you got to think, because check it out. There's 168 hours in each week, bro, right? And if you work, you got to sleep. Like you got to sleep, right? So let's say you sleep 8 hours a week. That's 56 hours minus 56 minus 186. That's 112 hours left, right? That's 100 hours left. And if you work 80 hours a week, you got like, what's that? 32 hours left, right? So like, I think you working at capacity, man, because those 32 hours, that's commute, grooming, eating food, getting food, you know, like 80 hours is the capacity that I think that's sustainable. If you are a fucking G, like I haven't seen anybody do more than 80 hours for long periods of time, brother. So like, I think you about at sustainable capacity, man. At 16 hours a week, now you cutting in the sleep time. And I just prefer you didn't do that, you know. All right. But yo, shout out to you, man. I'm glad you're working hard, brother. You know what I'm saying? Good. That's good shit. We love that. Well, we got another one.
It's funny. He wrote, I meant 112, but 116 is very far off. Anywho, we have this person. This person says, Brandon, I
What's his
just
name? What's his
joined
name? What's his name?
this
You got
person.
this. Yeah.
Brandon, I just joined HTT a month ago. How long do you believe online training will still be a good business? Is this a 10-year business, or do you see it shifting in any way with the ever-changing future?
Yo, it's hard to forecast what will happen 10 years from now, because it's things to be different. Like 10 years ago, there was no TikTok. You know what I'm saying? There was 10 years ago, Instagram was only on motherfucking iPhones. I don't even think it was on Android now, or it had just got on Android. I don't even think they had video on that bitch. Right? Like people forget, like shit changes. Imagine Instagram with no video. That's what it was like around 10 years ago, maybe give or take a few years. Right. Just the landscape definitely changes. However, one thing that's been consistent throughout human history is that people, pay other people to learn shit, and people pay for coaching. Like that's been a staple in humanity. So like online training, I believe, will evolve. Right. And we might change the way we do things. But the truth is, man, like all the changes I've seen in the online training landscape have just made it easier. Like it just improved our ability to not only train people, but help them get great results, and also help us get clients, right? So they've been all positive improvements. I haven't seen it, and we just, we'll adapt to whatever's going on, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, people say AI will replace it, but it's different, man, because AI can't keep you accountable. Like people can ignore robots. I know that because Kamala Harris fucking emailed and texted me multiple times a day during the election. I didn't even open them motherfuckers, man. Right? Because it was auto messages, right? I just ignored them, because you gotta remember, I'm from Chicago, so I voted for Obama, you know what I'm saying? Not for any political reasons, just another nigga from the shot, right? So the Democratic Party had my motherfucking number. And I met Michelle, like I knew, you know what I'm saying? She from the hood. She back in the day. Yo, what up? What up, Michelle? She from Southside Chicago, her damn self. Right. And I knew her. No bullshit. I knew her. I met her. I don't say knew her. I met her before she was first lady. Anyway, I'm not a political nigga. You know that, man. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. I ain't even vote last time, homie. I was like, whatever, man. Wherever the chips land, I'm gonna fucking roll with it like a G. Anyway, I say all to say, man, them hoes had my number. That hoe had my number. and she put it in the machine. I ignored all them shits, right? People can ignore the machines and AI, but when a human being, you can't ignore that, and people will pay for that accountability. They'll always pay for accountability, so it's like AI, it will help them get information easier, but there ain't been a lack of information, right? What people have is they need a way to stay consistent, and I think there's always going to be a role for us there. You know what I'm saying? That was a long-winded answer. It was a good one. Hey, man, let's talk about, man, but I see you on the calls on Tuesday, homie. I don't know what your name is, man. What was his name again? I need to know who I was talking about, babe. What was his name?
Listen, I'm sure he'll tell you on Tuesday's call.
Okay. All right, man. Listen, I don't know what that's about. Hey, y'all want to learn how to make some money? If so, pay attention, because we about to talk all about it. I used to be a broke ass nigga. I used to be broke as fuck. Just like you. Now I'm a multi-millionaire. I've made tens of millions of dollars over the last decade or so. And I'm going to show you, and in this video, I'm going to show you the things you need to stop doing. I'm going to show you the things you need to stop doing if you want to get rich too, if you want to start making money, if you want to get successful, because everyone always asks me, Brand, what did you do to get successful? What did you do to get money? What did you do to get in great shape? What you do to get a fucking girlfriend with big ass titties and a fat ass, you know? And it's like, there are things I do, but what's more important are the things I don't do, right? It's the things I don't do. Sometimes it's the things you want to take away that will actually add to your success. And in this video, I'm going to show you what you need to stop doing so you can be successful. So you can finally take your foot off the goddamn brake and start speeding down the highway of success. And you need to watch this whole video because the last one is one of the most important ones, right? Without this one, without that one, failure is imminent. And if you can't watch this whole video to the end, then maybe one of the things you need to stop doing is being a bitch. Being a lazy motherfucker who can't focus for fucking 15 goddamn minutes. Maybe that's why you poor surfing around the internet looking for fucking videos on how to get rich. Luckily, you finally found a good one. And if you take some goddamn notes, listen to what a real motherfucker say, you can come up here, man, on the mountain of success with us. I want you to climb up the mountains of success. I want to be your Sherpa that's going to take you by the hand and fucking drag your goofy ass up the mountain of success. You know what a Sherpa is? That's them little snow Mexicans that help people climb mountains like Mount Everest. But I'm helping you, but I'm not a snow Mexican. But I'm going to be your Sherpa up the mountain of success. Hey, let's get it started. It's going to be one of those episodes, it seems. Yeah. The first thing you need to do if you want to be successful, this is critical, is you need to stop chasing hoes. It sounds like I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Instead of chasing hoes, you need to chase victory. 50 Cent said, on his album, The Massacre, on a track called Rider Music, at exactly 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 50 says, you hustling backwards if you chasing a chick. No. You hustling backwards if you chasing a bitch. Stupid. Chase the money. They come with the shit. Truer words have never been spoke, right? Future once said, Percocet, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet. Chase a check, never chase a bitch. You motherfuckers ain't been listening to the gospel. And my favorite quote along this line comes from American rapper, designer, and full-time crazy person, Kanye West, where he said, I don't know what's better, getting laid or getting paid. I just know that when I'm getting one, the other's getting away. Think about it. How much time do you spend chasing these hoes, trying to rizz up bitches, right? But if you just listen to 50, chase the paper. They come with the shit. Let me explain. And it sounds like I'm joking, I'm just fucking around, but I'm dead serious because so many guys, because I'm 42, right? And I knew a lot of guys who I grew up with who are not successful. These motherfuckers are still broke. And the number one culprit is because they spent too much time chasing bitches, right? Going to the club, chasing bitches, buying bottles, spending money on fucking trinkets and jewelry and shit to impress bitches. And now they don't have nothing to show for it but a bunch of funny stories, some illegitimate children, and probably a few of them got some STDs. This is not jokes, but here's the thing. If you get the money, you can get mad bitches without even trying. You just got to focus. So check this out. This is very important, right? So along this, the main thing that if you want to get women, you don't need riz, you need looks. The main thing that helps you get women is looks, money, and status. Right? That's the trifecta. Right? And we're gonna put this in like 3 levels. Like level 1, like the top 1% of motherfuckers, these are people who have maxed out either all or one of these, right? Someone like Elon Musk, he probably hasn't maxed out looks, right? But he's maxed out money, right? He's the richest motherfucker around, right? Guess what he got? A lot of baby mamas, man. He out here fucking. That guy fucks. Every time I turn around, he got a new baby mama. Right? And right, you could you can max out status. This would be like famous people and but with fame usually comes money as well, right? Unless you get famous for being a criminal or something, right? Looks is like the least important one for men. For women, it's the most important one, right? But for us, man, you can go out here looks maxing if you want. You be out here looks maxing if you want, but I'd rather you be out here money maxing, right? Because with enough money, man, listen. But I mean, okay, do the best you can with all of them, right? But let's check it out. Let's say you be number. We're gonna put these in 3 categories. The motherfucking guys at the top of this graph, right? Then there's guys in the middle of this graph. These are average motherfuckers. Just average guys. Your daddy was probably one of them. You probably come from a long line of these motherfuckers. Regular niggas, right? And then there's people who are below average in looks, money, and status. These are scrubs. You know? And I don't know about you, man, but I don't want no scrubs, right? Sitting in the passenger side of his best friend's ride. All right. Like, if you want, a scrub is the guy who thinks he's fly, who's also known as a buster. Always talking about what he wants, but just sits on his broke ass. All right. Now, this is where these are the categories you can be in, right? Obviously, there are gradients in this. Now, this is the line. If you're on, check this out. This is the divider, and this the divide is divided by people who chase hoes. Right? Let me make this more legible. You chase Hose or hose chase you. All right. Now, listen. If you are a scrub, you get no hose. You just don't get no hose. Not a one. not a one, man. You got an OnlyFans subscription. Yeah, that's where you spend your money, right? Right. And no hoes chase you. Hoes don't even notice you. I hear hoes say shit about Miami. It's like, man, in Miami, nobody works. Nobody has jobs. Everybody just seems like they don't work. I'm like, bitch, that means your ass didn't even notice the fucking waiter in this restaurant. You didn't notice the busboy. You didn't notice the person working security in the building you live in. You don't even notice these motherfuckers. They're not even people to you. They're legit not even people to you. And that's what life is like when you a scrub. I know, let's say you average. If you average, then you have average girls flaking on you. Right? Average girls flaking on you, giving you the running around, putting your ass in the friend zone, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe going out with the dinner with you just to get a free meal and then laugh at you in her group chat. Right? Now, if you average though, big / ugly hoes want you. That's your life. All right. Big / ugly hoes want you. Now, let's say you get to this 1%, right? And we're gonna show you how to get to that top percent, at least when it comes to as it pertains to money later in this video. But if you can manage to get here, right, you reject more women than you chase. You reject more than you out here rejecting hoes. Some of y'all can't fathom that. Like some of y'all legit can't imagine rejecting a chick. Right? And then, yo, man, the 9s and 10s actually want you. What's up? Don't throw 8s in there, man. 8's a good number. 8, 9s, and 10s, you know? Want you. And only you, right? That's why it makes sense to just get here instead of chasing hoes. Get here. You and all that looks maxing and shit. You know, don't worry about that shit, man. Like you can do it. It's not as important for a man. It's helpful for sure, right? Get in good shape. Learn to groom yourself, right? If you want, I don't know if you need to become a fucking pretty boy and shit, but maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't looks maxing when I was young like you. I'm 42. I grew up in the 90s on the south side of Chicago. We would survive maxing. We would survive maxing, man. Or fucking kill maxing, right? And but you can focus on the money. you out here money maxing, you'll be straight, man. You'll be straight. All right. Looks max if you want, get the status right, but that's the main thing, right? Now, because you're gonna fit into different categories. Well, I think that's enough. I don't have to tell the next one. The next thing you need to do to get, but okay, but how do you get your fucking money up, right? You already stopped chasing hoes. What do you do now? Well, you got to stop freestyling your days, and you have to plan every hour of every day in your calendar, right? Let me show you what a fucking baller's calendar look like. I'm gonna bring mine up. So hold on, let me put it on the week view. All right, so check this out. This is my calendar. I plan out every hour of every day in my calendar, right? Right, boom. Even from the time I go to sleep to wake up, my whole fucking day is choreographed. This is even weekdays, Sundays, Monday, every day is choreographed. Even today, right? You see, there's no white space. I plan this shit out. It's choreographed. I have my meetings. I got shit I need to do. I trade every morning. Then I get my workout, boom, sales team meeting. Then you'll spend some quality time with my girl. Then I did accounting. Right now, prep for the podcast. Then I did another workout. Then I worked on some content. Then I did my meditation, some other shit. Now I'm doing the podcast, right? And then even when I'm gonna go to sleep is on there. Right? Even when I go to sleep, I'm on there. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to choreograph your day. Bruce Lee said, if you love life, don't waste time, because time is what life is made of. Right? If you are not choreographing your day, you're wasting so much time. You're wasting so much time. When I was broke, it was right after my father killed himself, and it was during the recession. I couldn't get a real good job because it was the Great Recession of 08 and record unemployment. It was super bad. And I just started working like 80 hours a week. Right? I worked a bunch of different jobs. I was working, I was personal training. I was working security. I was weekend manager at a restaurant, and I worked for a moving company. Right? And I worked all day, every day. But I still, because I planned my schedule, right? I still slept 7-8 hours a night, right? I still follow my diet, and I still worked out, right? Because you can plan it. You can choreograph your day. And I still work 80 hours a week, right? I still work over 80 hours a week, right? And I still have a great relationship with my girl. I still got tons of amazing friends. I still have an amazing relationship with my son. Shit, my nieces and nephews, shit is dope, right? Because I plan my day, and I promise you, if you start doing this, just do this for a week. If you do this for 1 week, plan out every hour of every day, and go by and actually live out your calendar. I promise you will get more shit done in that week than any other week in your life, because it's choreographed. You guys out here freestyling your days, wondering why you don't get shit done, because you're not taking advantage of your most important resource, right? Time. Time is your number one resource. And if you can finally take advantage of it, you will start running circles around the people you surround yourself with. People will stand in awe of how much you accomplish. If you can do this for like 90 days, if you did this for 90 days, your whole life would change. If you did it for a year, people will fucking wonder, what did you do to accomplish so much this year? Right? And I promise you, it will be this. I promise you, this is my number one tip. If I could never talk to the world again, and I had to leave one piece of advice to help you be successful, it would be this: plan out every hour of every day in your calendar. Watch your whole fucking life change. Watch your whole fucking life change. I promise you that, And here's the thing: if you're trying to get rid of any bad habits, you don't have to do you don't have to do anything to get rid of the bad habits. Just fill your calendar up with the shit that's going to help you accomplish your goal. Look at my calendar. When am I going to have time? When is there time to fucking goon and play video games and smoke fucking weed and get drunk? Where? When am I going to do it? I guess I can squeeze in a goon here or there, right? But like, like, it's the most important thing. And here's the thing. Guess what? If you got some bad habits, if you follow your calendar and you throw some fucking bad habits in, it won't even matter because you're spending way less time on the bad habits, and you're spending so much time doing the shit that's going to help you accomplish your goals. Then it wouldn't even be mad. It wouldn't matter if you had a few bad habits. If you smoked a little weed and gooned a little bit, it wouldn't fucking matter because you would have a whole fucking day full of victory, a whole week of victory. You hear what I'm saying? Or you can be efficient with the gooning. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you don't need to quit. Maybe you just need to stop spending so much time doing it. Maybe you motherfuckers lighting candles, taking yourself on dates, playing R&B music in the background, pulling the lights down low, going on dates with yourself, right? Maybe you can just get an efficient goon, get back to work. The next thing you need to quit doing is hanging out with motherfucking losers, right? Losers will fuck your shit up. You will become like the people you're around involuntarily. I know you heard all that shit, but there's studies to prove it, and I'm going to show you. So here's a study that was done that showed that it was a huge study, and it was and the researchers concluded that the more poor people have rich friends, the more likely they are to become rich. And they also said in the study, the most important thing when it comes to getting rich is having rich friends. Big study. You can read it yourself if you want. This is what is called social capital measurement and associations with economic mobility. For you dumbass niggas, that means economic mobility means moving across moving across the economical hierarchy, right? All right. And they have a part 2 of this same study too. Read it at your own leisure, you fucking nerds. You know what I'm saying? And it's called Social Capital Part 2, Determinants of right. So you can read part 1 or you can read part 2, right? Now, but check this out. Why do you think having rich friends will help you become rich? Right? Well, because, I have a lot of rich friends, balling ass friends. And one of the things is that we pick up each other's habits because you will become like the people you're around involuntarily, whether you want to or not. This is the reason why people from different regions or different lands, they sound the same when they're in the same region, right? They dress the same a little bit. They use the same similar vernacular, similar languages, right? They weren't born with the shit. It's not in their DNA. They involuntarily picked it up from people they're around. This is why they dress the same. They have the same habits. A lot of time have the same religion. You weren't born with this shit. You learned it from people around you. Right? You will become like the people you're around. So if you're around people who are rich, they probably have some habits that help them get rich. Right? They probably have some habits that help them, and you will naturally adopt their habits. Don't believe you'll naturally adopt other people's habits? Check this out. Here's another study. This is about weight loss, but it shows that if you have a friend who's obese, if one of your friends gets fat as fuck, you have a 45% chance of becoming obese. This was a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Listen, I don't have to tell you guys about the New England Journal of Medicine. I know you guys are avid readers, right? So I might be preaching to the choir a little bit, right? But you might already be aware of this study. It's old. It's from 2007, man. So that's when we was still listening to 50 Cent and shit, in the G Unit days. Drake wasn't even out back then, man. This is old, right? This was put out, before Drake, right? And but the study also goes on to say, if a friend of a friend, a third motherfucker, a motherfucker you don't even know, if he gets fat, you have a 20% chance of getting fat. But they took it a step further. If that friend, if a friend of a friend of a friend, this person is 3 people removed from you, you don't even know this other motherfucker, and this fat motherfucker, if he gets fat, you still have a 10% chance of getting fat, right? And if you don't believe this shit, read the fucking study. Read the study. You know, I know you guys are always in the New England Journal of Medicine, right? So you probably already there, right? But go back and review the study you already reread it, because you might have missed the shit, you know. Right? Because you pick up on, you become like the people you're around. You become like the people. You become like the people you're around are around. It's fucking deep. So you really have to curate your circle. And if you're around losers, you're gonna start losing. If you're around losing is contagious. Being fat is contagious. Real shit. I'm not joking. The study says being fat is contagious. What else do you think? Being fit is contagious. The opposite is true too, right? Here's another example, right? Another study where it shows that this is from the Pew Research Center. Hold on, let me accept the cookies, right? It's from the Pew Research Center. And it says divorce is contagious. Listen, if one of your friends gets divorced, you got a 75% chance of divorcing your bitch. Divorce is contagious, man. Right? This bitch, your friend's wife ain't sucking dick right. He divorced her. Now you got a 75% chance of getting divorced because she don't suck. Some chick you don't even, because your friend's wife ain't sucking his dick right. I'm assuming that's why people get divorced, right? Like, because with proper dick sucking could probably save any marriage. I think you all agree. Proper, consistent dick sucking will save almost every marriage. I believe that. But they don't teach this shit in school. That's the problem, right?
I didn't even have to cut that out.
When you go to these marital classes, motherfuckers be taking classes on how to stay married, have a good relationship. The only thing they need to teach is, bitch, suck this nigga dick every day. Everything will be fine. You'll get whatever you want. And he'll put up with all your bullshit if you suck enough dick. But if you're not sucking dick, you start all that fucking shit that bitches do all the time, right? He's gonna be like, man, I ain't even getting my dick sucked. Why am I, man, fuck this shit. I'm out. That's what happens. That's the part, and that's why we have so many single mothers in our country. All right. And what the fuck are we talking about? Oh, right. Divorce. So basically, your friend get divorced, you got a 75% chance of getting divorced. If you hang out with losers, you will start losing. You will start losing. So anybody in your life, and there's a part of that, and that's in the 48 Laws of Power, man, by the homie Robert Greene. Bob Greene, one of the laws is stay away from the unhappy and unlucky, right? Losers beget more losing. You know, but if you hang out with winners, you'll start winning more, right? And here's another study saying, right, that actually emotions are contagious, right? If your friends are happy and enjoying life, you'll be happier as well. Another study, right? It's a 20-year study, man, right? So you got to kick the losers out your life, right? And I'm not saying if one of your friends need help, you don't help them. Like I'll help one of my friends for sure. No problem. Right. But if motherfuckers got bad habits and they doing fucking bullshit, then you might have to disassociate yourself with them. And I'll do it with family members. I'll do it with anyone. Right. And everyone knows this shit. You become like the 5 people you're around. Right. But you motherfuckers don't take this shit into account with the women you date. Yeah, I hit a nerve with some of you. Some of you motherfuckers, you dating fucking women. You say, oh yeah, you become like the 5 people you're around. Your network is your network, but you'll stick your dick in anything. And I get it. When I was younger, man, you know, I didn't care what kind of habit she had if the ass was fat enough. I get it. When I was younger, man, she didn't even have to have a fucking head if the ass was fat enough. I fucking mannequin if the ass is fat enough. But that's when I was a child, right? As a man, I went through this shit so you don't have to, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? You can't be out here sticking your dick in crazy. Because then a lot of you guys have had this experience. You start dating some chick, your life is going great, right? And then you start dating some chick and her life is fucking chaos. And then all this chaos comes into your life. These are your problems now, right? If you like actually get involved with her, right? She don't get along with her mom, right? She always got beef with her friends, right? She's getting fired at work. All these problems infiltrate your life. And it's like a storm and a wave of negativity. And then next thing you know, shit in your life starts going wrong as well. This is contagious. This shit happens all the time. A lot of y'all have been through it, right? And any of you guys who have dated, you know, right? Just because she's pretty, you know what I'm saying? You can't date. There's a lot of women who are really beautiful, but also really crazy, like really crazy. I think they're called Puerto Ricans. And I'm just kidding. Mi gente muy es loca y peligroso, right? But you know what I mean, man. Like this is real shit, man. This is real shit. So you got to really think about the kind of woman you're gonna bring in your life and your friends, man. Because if they got a bunch of fucking wild, wacky shit going in their life, you want to keep your distance. If shit is going wrong in their, if somebody has something that's always going wrong in their life, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen to you? It's kind of like when your friends gets a new car. When your boys gets a new car, you start seeing that new car everywhere, don't you? Motherfucker, that car. You not an X-Man. You didn't attract that shit. You're not Professor Xavier. You ain't Jean Grey. You ain't the Scarlet Witch. You ain't Emma Frost. The fucking car was always there. You just didn't see it, right? But then when it brought to your attention, you start seeing it all the time. Okay, so if that can happen with a car, what the fuck do you think could happen if somebody has all these fucking problems and they're bringing up their problems all the time? What are you still gonna start seeing in your life? Just like you started seeing the car everywhere you go, you gonna start seeing problems everywhere you go. It's a real shit. You gotta stay away from fucking losers. You gotta stay away from losers, man. All right? You know, if a motherfucking yeah, you gotta stay away from the losers. Listen, I got a bunch more. We're gonna take a break because I want to talk to you about the other shit you gotta avoid to get rich, right? But first, we gotta take a break to talk about the motherfucking stock market. Talk about getting this fucking paper with the big dog young candlestick. Let's go. Yo, what up, man? Young Candlestick, what's popping? Yo, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Candlestick.
Brandon, you were on Fresh and Fit one time, and you were giving the ladies advice. And you were giving them advice on how to never lose a man.
Oh, yeah.
You said, just suck his dick every single day. Never seen it fail.
I don't know why. I don't know why the ladies don't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here trying to listen. Man,
I wholeheartedly agree.
But
we'll get into the market now. So S&P 500 up 0.7% today. It's having a doji day. And what does a doji day mean? Meaning that means he's gonna win.
That means he's gonna win best new rapper.
It might. It depends on the wins. But basically, a doji, it means an upper wick and a lower wick. And whichever way those wicks break can lead to the next direction of the market. So keep an eye on SPY's high and low of today. I think the SPY is bearish. If it gets underneath 558, you can take a short trade and get down to 551. If the SPY is bullish, though, if it breaks above today's high, it has room up to this 580 level. Okay?
Okay.
Brandon, you crushed it in futures this morning. You're crushing it every single day.
Bro, man,
it's an honor to trade with you.
I'm nice.
It's so cool. Seriously. After you left the live this morning, I took the baton and I showed the Victory Trades members an SPX credit spread trade. So basically, anything up in the white and above is max profit. And what's super cool about these credit spread trades are you can just enter them and then that's it. Because SPX is cash settled. So you just get the money if it closes above that level. And we did some really, really good trades. You know, we even caught like a top side iron condor as well. And so a lot of people were able to profit from those credit spreads. And I'm bringing this to your attention because the market's not really going in a steady direction. It's been going up lately, yes, but it's been going up on low volume. Like the volume is just super, super low. And so what that means is when volume comes in, the market can move big and it can move fast. So the biggest lesson is keep your eyes on volume. If you can forecast that volume is going to be lower, then that's a great time for those credit spread strategies. Okay.
All right.
Looking at leading market indicators, IWM was up a bit more today than the S&P. So the IWM is starting to lead. I did have to cut a bearish position I had on IWM. However, I'm totally going to come back to it if the IWM kind of breaks this rising wedge bearish. You know, it's a rising wedge kind of at resistance. If the IWM has like 1 or 2 red days, it could start to snowball lower. Okay. So I like IWM shorts. The RSP is the equal weighted S&P 500, and that did better than the S&P 500 today. So what does that mean? It means that if you take all the stocks and give them the same weight, instead of NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, Google all having this monstrous weight in the S&P 500, if you equalize it, that's telling us that breadth is starting to improve. So what I'm saying is the lows for the year may be in. However, the market still has potential room to drop, maybe 7-8%. So I think the buying spot, like the big buying spot for this year, is now this 527 to 513 zone. And again, I think it's a short if it goes up from there. Okay. Bitcoin has been kind of leading this rally. We've been talking about how Bitcoin's been really strong. It did end up breaking up. I thought it was going to more so consolidate, but Bitcoin's approaching all-time highs. So Bitcoin's super, super bullish as long as it's holding above 98K, ideally above 100,000. Okay.
Is that volume concerning? Like it seems like it's the inverse.
You know, right now, this is the futures market volume, but the volume, it's not ideal. You're right. It's not ideal, but it's not bearish. It's not as bad as the S&P 500. It would be totally normal to come down and retest, drop 5%, and then find some support. But if Bitcoin starts to break underneath 93K, then it has room down to 86K. But no red flags on Bitcoin as of right now. And that's been leading the market. So Bitcoin kind of broke out first. And then notice how the S&P kind of followed thereafter. So that's why we look at Bitcoin as a leading market indicator.
Okay.
Gold and silver, no setups yet. I'm bullish on them longer term, but they're just kind of flopping around.
I made a lot of money off gold, man. Since we've been talking about it, bro.
You, me, Victory Trades members, like this has been our #1 market. I could always trade the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ better, but gold is our shit. Like, gold, nothing too much on gold right now. I expect it to consolidate in this range, but then after a consolidation for a while, so let it just kind of flop around sideways. Then once it starts to break out, that can be a new buy setup. Okay.
Mm.
Obviously, anything can happen. That's just as of right now. You know, the market's constantly changing and evolving. Last time I was on the Victory Talk podcast, I said you could sell some ET, cash secured puts. Those are likely just going to expire for max profit. So I still like ET, energy transfer for the wheel.
Mhm.
Another one is I picked up a long on Oxy today, Occidental Petroleum. We kind of
Okay.
have this base, and we just started to break out of the base. So what does this look like? You got top 1, top 2, top 3, top 4. When you start to break that on a big increase in volume, it's a high probability trade. You can take that long setup, put your stop loss underneath the low of that day, and see if you can't get a move up. So if you're looking for a trade idea tomorrow, potentially Oxy calls Oxy long shares over today's high. And
Well, I
again,
got one.
this isn't advice.
I got a trade idea.
Oh, let's check it out.
I want you to run it past you first, right? But
Yeah.
ticker symbol CPRT. So this is a company, they do like online car auctions or some shit, you know?
Oh, hell yeah. That looks beautiful.
Look at that chart though, right?
So the only thing that's slightly concerning, so it is bullish. Like I would not short this at all. The volume is a little bit concerning. It's not bad. It's not great. Volume's just okay. What I don't like is how it peekabooed above this resistance point and then it closed underneath the resistance point. That was mostly the S&P kind of closing in. But guess what? This sets up long. Yeah, over 62.
Yeah,
34.
right.
The volume's not great, so you might not get like a bursting breakout. It's not going to just splooge all over. It's gonna it might chop or just flop around, but it can gravitate upwards just because the trend is so nice. I'm curious to see if there is a Morningstar report. So I'm just going to do a brief, simple fundamental analysis. I really like Morningstar. Okay, it's loading up. Here we go. We got it. So the fair value of this stock is $57 per share. So the current market price right now is 61. So there is a little bit of value risk in this stock. You can take a look at some competitors. CarMax fair value is 123. It's kind of near like 85. LKQ 52, RBA 146. So maybe not for a longer term trade, but maybe for something like just a short term swing trade could be okay.
Okay.
Just based off Morningstar. I like your idea though, because what I like about these ascending triangles is you get in and you're supposed to get paid like right away. If you're not, you're going to stop out right away.
Exactly.
So that's what's nice about it. And so if you can make quicker money in the stock market, your annualized return is that much greater because you make money that one day and then you multiply it out. So
income velocity.
Yep. Think about the time value of money. That's why I'm sometimes even with options trading, that's why day trading is such an allure because you make that money right away. And if you can consistently do that, like Brandon does, and sometimes I'm catching up to you, Brandon.
Hey, you know, man, like you better at analyzing stocks and charts, especially for swing trading. Like that's your swing trading and long term investing. Like that's your shit. You know, like we're, you know, I focused on one thing for mad long, right? If y'all want to trade with us, you can hit our free Discord. Greg is free trade alerts in there. I got free courses in there. But if you want to trade with us, hit up Greg and say in the Discord and say, yo, I want to join Victory Trades. And Victory Trades is not free, right? But you get Greg's trade alert straight to your phone for the swing trading, right? Options plays that pay, right? Like, you know, I made a lot. Greg's made me a lot of money. And you can trade, you can live trade with us every morning. The market opens, man. And I'm trading futures. Greg's trading everything, right? And futures. And I say exactly where my trade, where I'm buying, where I'm selling. Like we both trade live. It's lit. We have a lot of fun.
So much fun. Like Brandon's calling out the trades beforehand, and then boom, you can get in and you're out in like a minute, less than that, sometimes seconds. And sometimes there's a longer term trade that we can take. Like longer term and day trading is like 5 minutes. But like, you know, when you're in victory trades, like we're all just kind of friends and we're all just trying to make money together. That's the whole goal.
Dope.
Like, I think that's the best way to make friends is get success together.
Word.
Two more things.
Oh my God. You go ahead.
Two more things I want to break down. Then I want to break down your guys' stocks. Send a super chat if you guys want your stocks broken down. Otherwise, I'll break down Brandon's stocks. XLU, the utility sector, even if the market goes through a downdraft, I don't think that XLU drops all that much. Stock pays, the ETF pays 3% a year to hold on to it. And it's got a bullish chart formation. These utility companies, so many people are using Chat GPT and AI. It takes up a ton of energy for those data centers. And XLU can build that into their margins, like the companies within XLU. So XLU, I like it for dollar cost averaging and even like an aggressive trade with shares, not so much options because I want that dividend, but aggressive longs on XLU over 81.14. Right. And then one stock to pay attention to is it's called an ADR, an American Depository Receipt. Basically, what they do is they convert the currency and the dividends of that currency into US dollars. And what's cool about trading ADRs or foreign stocks is you can actually, it diversifies a portfolio. And if the dollar is going to weaken, it can actually strengthen the stock. So if the US currency gets depleted versus, the currency that we're trading in, whatever the Taiwanese currency is. But if you take a look at the DXY, the dollar, it's not doing too bad. It's getting a little bit of a pump, which is why you're seeing gold and silver kind of just flatline. But if the dollar really starts to crash or break down, these ADR stocks can trade really, really well. And even if there were no like currency fluctuations, I still like TSM as a stock. Now, this is long-term. Short-term, it's kind of just mucky. But long-term, I really, really like TSM. Okay.
What does that got to do with like the bond market?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So if we look at the bond market, the TLT, our 20-year treasury bond, this is kind of getting scary because if this starts to break down, you're going to see the markets bleed hard and fast. Think of this as like global faith in the United States, investors investing in the United States. We've had the best bond ratings. Investors don't think the U.S. is going to default, but as this drops, the default risk goes up. It's still very, very, very low. And that's why the interest rates go up. So my favorite way to trade interest rates is the TBT ETF. We talked about that buy point right at the trend line right there. And if these start to break out, it just means, hey, if I'm going to buy your bonds, I need to get paid more money because y'all risky as hell. So the riskier the thing that you're investing in, the more return that you need. And that's kind of what the bond market is really all about, the debt market. So when you just go into your brokerage and buy TLT, it's like you're loaning your money out to the US government. Now you can take it back whenever you want. You're not committed to it, but the longer that you hold on to it, you get those interest payments. This, if you hold it for 20 years and we still have a government, you get all your money back plus a 4.5% return per year. And you get that monthly. But longer term bonds like this have interest rate risks because if interest rates go to the moon, TLT dumps. So you might buy it at $86 a share. And if interest rates skyrocket, even though it's quote unquote a risk-free investment, you could be underwater for years. So that's the interest rate risk. And that's why I talk about short-term bonds. They really don't have that interest rate risk. You can just buy this, collect your monthly check. You can sell it whenever you want. So that's SGov and then BIL. Those are my favorite short-term bonds. Just a simple way to park your cash.
Okay. Listen. All right, cool. I think you got a super chat, Greg. You got a super chat. Somebody want to ask you about something.
What we got? Oh, how do I feel about XRP? So a big thing about stocks and crypto, you don't want to feel it. You want to objectively analyze it. Let me pull this up real quick on TradingView. XRP USD. Give me a sec. So this is Ripple. So again, when it comes to altcoins, think of Bitcoin as like the spy. That's kind of like the ocean, the motion in the ocean. If Bitcoin's strong, XRP is probably going to be strong. If XRP is not strong, though, while Bitcoin is strong, that is concerning. So looking at the daily chart, you can just really just take a look at this, and it's just kind of range bound. It's not really doing too much. Got your low points, you got your high points. If it can break above and stair step up, that's cool. So XRP short term looks bullish above 2.80. It looks super bearish underneath 1.60. Anything in between is just noise. It's just It's meaningless.
Mm.
So if we take a look at like something like the monthly chart, monthly looks pretty good. Again, monthly, you want it to hold that 1.60. And, if it does break out, it breaks out. It's, and this is from a technical perspective. It's one of those things where if you're going to take your shot, you can buy XRP right here, slap on a stop loss at 1.6, and then pray to the crypto gods that you get your gains. That's basically it. Like, I think that's the only way to really trade it. You can buy right there, stop loss 1.60, or you can buy over the highs, but you carry more risk if you do that. Breakout setups are risky, but because of that extra risk, you get paid right away if you're right.
All right. I got a question.
What's up?
One of my old friends, a company we made a lot of money on, Axon.
Yeah, that's right. Axon was posting the Trade Ideas channel. Axon earnings, yes.
Bro, their earnings is fucking crazy. They killed that shit. Stock went up like fucking a crazy amount. Like what, 14% today?
14.13%.
That's amazing.
I know.
For a stock that costs fucking $700. Like that's a big move.
I know, right? Like seriously. And it looks like it has continuation too, because the volume is great and it's approaching those highs. This is the body cam footage, right?
Yeah.
Top body cam. It's really entertaining to watch police body cam videos because like you see how crazy people are and how disrespectful some people can be.
Yeah, it's intense, man. But look, I like that chart, man. What do you think? You think you wait for a pullback?
I would say short term, you've kind of got to trade this. Long term, you can just slap on like a lump sum and be willing to average down if you want. Otherwise, I do have this in my portfolio as just a DCA. So I like dollar, basically
dollar
bullish, but you got to kind of like disregard risk because it is a bit overbought. There's good support at like 600. So again, let's say the SPY sells off like 4, 5, 6, 7%. Axon would probably sell off down to like 555, but that would be a good deal.
I'm seeing support around like 630, like around that range.
Definitely 637. Support is where the pivots are right here.
Yeah.
And then also the gaps. You could also do some nerdy shit like put on a volume profile. We are nerds here, so let's do it. Volume profile, and you can see the volume by price on the side. So where are the high volume nodes? So here, I can see a high volume node at 603. Cool. That lines up with the gap. So we got two things in our favor over there. There's a nice node right where you said about 630.
Yeah, 630.
Yep. And there's a big ass node at 297. So like in a market crash, this is like a buy with 3 hands price.
Yeah.
So mark your volume nodes. Prices tend to bounce off of those volume nodes. And you can use this in futures trading as well. Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, day trading, maybe like a 0-day call option tomorrow if it's going to break out to all-time highs. It's risky. It's risky.
I'm with the shits, man. I go. I roll, man.
It wouldn't be 0-day. It would expire next week. But like you could construct like a call debit spread, buy the 680, sell the 690. You'd risk about $550 to make $450. And if Axon's above 690 all-time highs, you just get the max profit.
I got one more. Microsoft.
Oh, hell yeah. It's Microsoft's one of those things where it was so oversold. Now it's so overbought. It's tough to take a look at. I like how it had this high base and then it broke out. The question becomes, is this going to be a break and hold, or is this going to be a false breakout, liquidity grab, and then come back towards this gap? I still like buys on Microsoft, but I got to wait for something like 400 to 405. And if I miss it, so be it.
Looks good. Like around 400. I like it.
Bullish put credit spreads is an idea as well for a trade.
Okay.
Around that. But also just long-term shares are great. Otherwise, if it goes up and goes without me, that's fine. I've still got Microsoft in my long-term portfolio.
Yeah.
We've been accumulating down here, even though it's scary. It was scary.
For sure. All right.
The last thing to check out is if the market does get more overbought. We talked about Apple shorts, right? From 210 up here. If Apple can bounce up to like 208.50, that could be a short spot on Apple. So if you want some bearish protection, look no further than Apple.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right, guys, listen, if you want to trade with us, hit up our Discord, go in there, hit up Young Candlestick Greg and say, yo, I want to join Victory Trades. He'll walk you through it and he'll show you everything you get with Victory Trades membership. You get Greg's courses, his options courses, his trading courses, his investing courses, and you get his trade alerts straight to your phone every time he makes it, multiple times, like every day, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And you can trade with us in this session. That's my shit. That's, I'm trading futures. And we have a lot of fun, man, every day. All right. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Brandon.
All right. Peace. I think we got some super chats.
We have Mr. Out of Context.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, big dog, I've been in this relationship for 4 years. I love this woman, but I feel she's holding me back. What should I do? I'm torn, brother.
It depends on how you feel like she's holding you back, right? If she's like actively stopping you from accomplishing your goals, then you got to make a decision, right? I can't tell you what decision you make. I think you know what decision I would make, right? But like everyone knows what decision I would make, right? But if she's actively like being a barrier between you and your goals, then listen, if you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice, right? And here's the thing, if you stay with her and she continues to prevent you from accomplishing your goals, that's going to breed resentment, right? You're going to start to resent her and you're going to start to like her less, and you're going to lose her anyway. And now you lost her in your dreams. Like straight up, like if you sacrifice your goals for the girl, you will resent the girl. Now you with a bitch you don't like and you didn't accomplish your goals. So what did you win? I don't think you'd be doing her a favor, right? It sounds like I'm saying just dump your girl. No, I think that's the humane thing to do, right? Because if you're going to end up resenting her, is it really fair to her to be with someone who's resenting her? You know what I'm saying? Maybe she'd be happier with someone else. You probably both would be happy with someone who's a good match. Now, that's if she's actively standing in your way of you and your goals in some capacity, right? If she's just not, like sometimes guys be like, they say their girl's holding them back, but because their girl's not focused on success like that, or they're not focused on the grind or some shit like that. But if she's not in your way, she just doesn't have the same mindset as you, that's fine. You can keep that girl, man. Like, and you could just, you don't need her to do the shit with you, right? Like a lot of people think, man, I need my girl with me, man. She doesn't have, I hear guys complain, she doesn't have the same drive as me. I'm like, yo, who gives a fuck? She's not supposed to have the same drive as you, man. Women have about 10% of the testosterone of men on average, right? Like it'd be weird if she had the same drive as you. You know what I'm saying? Most of the girls I met with that crazy drive who are like super successful, most of them chicks are single. Straight up, so it depends. If she's just not doing the shit with you, then you can keep her, man. Like you don't need her to do you with you. That's kind of like, that's like some baby shit, like thinking that you need someone to be by your side while you do it, man. You don't need that, but if it's like she's actively preventing you, then yeah, you gotta fucking leave. If she's saying you work too much or some bullshit like that, let her go be poor with someone else, man. Straight up. All right. What else we got?
We have Eli.
Oh, hold on. My fault. I gotta go back to one. There's one more thing, right? So there is the thing, right? Like if you're trying to accomplish, is a thing. This is weird. This might be hard to say. Girls don't mind, women don't mind you working hard if they're benefiting from it. Right? But if you just working and she don't see the benefit, that's typically difficult. If you're working super hard, like going hard, like the kind of hard it takes to be successful, and she's not seeing any benefit, it's super difficult and rare for a woman to stick around under those circumstances. It goes for all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's rare. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's rare. But if they're benefiting from it, they typically chill if they're smart. You know what I'm saying? Typically. right? There's exceptions to all that. So just keep that in mind, right? Like if you was already getting it, she'd be cool. You get what I'm saying? It's because you're not there yet. And that's typically a problem for 90% of chicks. Every once in a while you meet that 10% who's down to fucking struggle with your ass, right? But they're fucking few and far between, man. You know, they're few and far between. It sounds like you don't got one. All right. Well, I'm sorry. What was the other one you wanted to get to?
We have Eli. Started keto January 1st, and I'm down 30 pounds without tracking.
Okay.
Also became a cheese connoisseur. Let me tell you, big dog, smoked cheeses, A1.
Yo, listen, man, that was no question. That's like a positive affirmation. And he's like giving us some good advice. That's what's up, man. Listen, yeah, the one thing about keto is like, I track my calories. But the reason a lot of people can lose weight on keto without tracking calories is because they're just going to get less calories. You're typically just going to get less calories if you're on a ketogenic diet because you're cutting out a food group. You know what I'm saying? You're cutting out a food group for the most part. And the ketogenic diet, if you are in ketosis, there's tons of studies that show you become less hungry. Like it suppresses hunger, right? So that's how people end up. So congrats for you, man. Like in just like 5 months, you lost 30 pounds without tracking. That's fucking amazing. And that's not abnormal on the ketogenic diet. I still track my macros, but that's actually not abnormal for people to stick to it, man. Shout out to you, brother. Smoked cheeses. I know what's up with the cheese, homie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The homie Jeremy gave me this big ass box of cheese, man, from Wisconsin. And all types of cheese in it, man. We had some smoked cheeses in there. I feel you. What else we got?
We have Eric. How can I get my keto level above 1.5?
It typically happens once you keep your carbs underneath 50 grams. Like if your carbs are 50 grams or less, you typically be in ketosis, like straight up. Honestly, you're probably not tracking your calories. You know what I'm saying? You're probably not tracking your macros. Your carbs are just too high. Because your carbs will if you eat enough carbs, they'll convert into glucose, and when there's glucose in your body, then your body won't produce ketones. But in the absence of glucose, your pancreas will secrete ketones, and that's the new fuel your body will run on as opposed to glucose, right? That's what it means when you're doing a ketogenic diet. It means you're in ketosis, right? And 1.5 is high, right? Like you only need it to be you're considered in ketosis at 0.5, right? So like 1.5 is like 3 times higher than it really needs to be. The highest I've ever seen mine were 8. But that was during the diet I talked about on Tuesday, the protein sparing modified fast. That's what my shit was at 8, bro. That shit was crazy. But typically, man, anything above 1.5 is fine. Like I wouldn't be out here trying to chase ketone levels. You know what I'm saying? Like 1.5 is higher than necessary for anything. Like 0.5, you good. What else again?
We have Danish with nothing.
All right. That's what up, Danish?
We have Hardin. Ain't nothing some pro goon can't fix.
Yeah, shout out to Hardoon from the Goon Squad. Shout out to him.
We have Outtrigger. What are you reading lately?
I've been rereading. Some. I've been going through Ryan Holiday's books again, right? So, Discipline is Destiny. Rereading that one. This year I haven't bought a whole bunch of new books. One, just because I don't have space for them, but also I have so many good books that I've been rereading some of the best ones. And every time I reread a book, I feel like I get insights that I didn't get the first time. And when you do that, what happens is you get different insights because the information didn't change, but you changed, right? So you have different insights, right? You had different connections that you can draw that you didn't have the first time. So I think that's super powerful, man. Like I'll reread it. I've read Influence. I read Influence over 100 times. Straight up, no bullshit. Read or listen to the audio. And every time I go through it, I learn something new, man.
We have Nico. What was that AI website you talked about where you upload your pic and visualizes you on scenarios to help manifest?
Yeah, man. We talking about, I use let me see. Let me get it. Fall.ai. And I trained a let me see if I can log in here. I trained I use Flux. I trained Flux. So you go to fall.ai. I don't have time to teach y'all how to do it. You can show it, right? And it was this Flux portrait trainer, right? So I uploaded a bunch of pictures of me. Right. So if we go to playground, boom. Now you see I have a bunch of these ones. So every time we run, which one is it? Fuck, I haven't fucked with this in a minute. Okay, this one. So boom, now it's like I can put a prompt in here, and I can put so every time I put king, I had trained it. So every time I put king, it's a picture of me, right? It's me. So like I have to say a bald man because this is weird. King a bald. Sometimes, because if I don't say I'm a bald and I'm a man, it'll fuck up. Right? King, a bald man. What should I be doing, Nima?
I'm not sure. Spraying thought repellent on.
They don't know what thought repellent is. Riding a dragon. Riding a dragon. I spelled dragon wrong. Riding a dragon. Holding a trophy. Riding the dragon. Oh, shirtless. Shirtless in a war zone. In a war zone. What? Why is it telling me to do that? Riding a, how you spell dragon? Am I spelling it wrong?
No, that's correct.
Oh, it's just two dragons. It doesn't need to. Dragon shirtless in a war zone, holding a trophy in one hand. And a huge gun in the other. All right, let's see what happens. I put it on 1.3, 1.3, and then let's make need most of this shit the same. Hold on. Default size. Let's make it yeah, we can do default. And then usually it gives me an option. It used to give me number of images. Let's do 4. Let's just run it. Let's see what it comes up with. You know. Now I'm not saying this is what I would want to visualize. Well, let's see. It takes a few seconds. It takes a minute. Here we go. I'm gonna download these. I might be able to use this for something. I might be able to use this for something in the future. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, here we go. Well, okay, this is what you want. This is what you really want. King, a bald man. Let's say, you know what I'm saying? Standing next to a Lambo. How you say a Lamborghini? Standing next to a Lamborghini and a huge pile of money. Wearing a suit. All right. Run it back. Oh, wait a minute. All right. See what? Now, this is how you make your vision board, man, with a picture image of you. Let's go. Come on. It's not bad, man. That ain't bad. Put that on your vision board, homie. You know what I'm saying? All right. Might use this for something, man. I don't know. Post this shit on. All right, what else we got? Or is that it?
We have more. We have Max Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
How many hours were you putting into futures every day to get good in those past 5 years?
It would be a few hours a day, the year one, and then that was in 2000, and I was profitable. I was profitable my first year. I made 20 grand my first year, but not crazy profitable, right? And then yeah, and then it was really last year was when I went super hard. And last year I made sure I got over 200 hours of practice. Like I would download different days. You can download like historical data, and I would just practice trading. And I timed it, and I made sure I would time how much hours I did, and it was 200 hours before that's when I feel like I started getting good, like really, really good, last year. And but what you can do is, I have something called the skill acquisition matrix. I've talked about this before in videos. Let me just bring this up. Right. So anything you want to get good at, you can, let me find it. Boom. So this is the skill acquisition matrix. All right. So anything you want to get good at, man, it's just hours, right? Because 10,000 hours makes you a fucking expert, right? Malcolm Gladwell had that in his book, and it's been kind of proven. 10,000 hours makes you one of the best in the world. 5,000 hours makes you amazing. 2,000 hours makes you really good. 1,000 hours makes you good. 100 hours makes you not bad, right? So I probably, like, over the past 5 years, I probably got over 1,000 hours over the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But it can take as long as you want, right? If you want to get 1,000 hours or something, an hour a day is going to take you almost 3 years. 2 hours a day is going to take you a little over a year. 3 hours a day you can get good in a year. 4 hours a day you can get it 4 months, right? And I just looked at it like that. I had a leap in progress last year when I did that 200 hours. But even after the 200 hours, I still practice. I still win every day. So I trade for about an hour or two each day, right? So now I'm on this path, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got about 1,000 hours over the last 2 years. I've gotten over 1,000 hours for sure, because I was doing this at least for the last 2 years. Yeah. All right. 1,000, real quick, 1,000 hours is like for most things, is all you really need, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like if you get 1,000 hours in something, you'll be better than almost everyone you meet. Like, straight up. Anything, playing an instrument, learning a language, fucking anything. You put 1,000 hours in, you'll be good. I fucking promise you. You got to track it though. All right. Cool. Hey man, let's get back to the money, man. So I was talking before we took that break, we were talking about the 7 things you need to stop doing to get rich. All right. So before the break, we talking about the 7 things you need to do to stop. We talked about 7 things you need to stop doing to get rich. I stopped with the first one was stop chasing hoes, start chasing victory. Right? 50 Cent said, "You hustling backwards if you chasing a bitch, stupid. Chase the paper. They come with the shit." All right. The second one was stop freestyling your days. You want to plan every hour of every day in your calendar. Right. The third one was stop hanging out with losers. Right. Start you either gonna ride with the winners or you're gonna lay with the losers. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then the next one you need to do is stop buying things that don't increase in value or at least hold their value. Right. What you need to start doing is buying assets. Right. So I learned this a long time ago when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You just yeah. By Robert Kiyosaki, and he was saying, man, yo, he had a po dad. I'll write this out, man. It's Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And he had, oh shit, that was intense. I wasn't ready for that. So he had his po dad, po daddy, right? This nigga was broke. That's po dad, right? Then he had this shit is fucking up. All right, let's start that. Po dad, then he had rich dad. He had his rich dad. He was out here stunting. You know what I'm saying? Mad money, balling and shit, right? He was a G. And Po Dad would work for money. No, okay. Fuck. Po Dad would work. What the hell is happening? All right. Work to get money and then spend his money on bullshit. Right? Well, Rich Dad would work, right? For money, but he spend his money on assets. He spent his money on assets, right? These are things that made him more money, real estate, stocks, things of that nature, right? And then, when they say bullshit, I'm gonna say just shit, because there's all types of shit you can buy, and not all shit is bullshit. Oh fuck! Why did that happen, Nima? All right, what the fuck? All right. Shit, right? Now the rich dad would spend his money on assets and he would use the money from the assets to buy his shit. Right? And this happened for years and years, and then he would just keep buying. Every time he get paid, he would buy more assets. Right? Buy more assets. And he would keep doing that shit. And then he had just way more shit. Way more shit to the point where he was making more money from his assets than he was making from his work after a certain amount of time, right? The rich dad just kept buying shit, right? But shit goes away. Assets keep making money, right? So the rich dad was able to stop working if he wanted to, and he would still be able to get the shit, right? If Po Dad stopped working, he died. And that's what you motherfuckers are doing. You spending money. Like if you watch me over the last 10, 15 years on social media. For the vast majority of it, you know, I was living in a small crib in Queens, wearing an Apple Watch, some Jordans, and some Jordan track pants every fucking day. Like, I wasn't no flexing, no fucking crazy lifestyle shit. I was just working, but I was making money. I was a millionaire at that time, right? I got to the point where I was making millions still, but I wasn't spending money on bullshit. I was investing in assets, right? I was investing in assets, and then the assets started buying me APs, Richard Milles, Cartier bracelets, penthouse apartments, right? Right. I wouldn't have that if I would have did that shit earlier, right? I wouldn't have had that. So now it's like I'm set up, man. I got investments, right? If I ever die, unlikely, but if I ever do, my son is set up, man. He'd be a millionaire day one, multi-millionaire day one. No bullshit, multi-millionaire day one, right? But my dad died. My dad wasn't doing this shit. My dad died. I ain't get nothing but a bunch of fucking problems that I needed to solve, right? And one of the reasons, you know, my dad was like Poe Dad. He was just spending his money on shit, man, you know, and he wasn't investing. And when shit went south, he lost his business. He killed himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to stop spending money on bullshit. Start spending money on buying things that are going to increase in value or better, even make you money. You get what I'm saying? So, because if you want to get rich, this is the secret to getting rich. Is the key. Make more money than you spend and invest the difference. If you do that over a long enough period of time, you will get rich. There's really nothing else. Make more money than you spend and invest the difference. If you do that over a long enough period of time, you will get rich. If you would invest just $2,000 a month in something conservative like S&P 500 index fund, right? It has an average annual return of 10% a year, right? $2,000 a month for every month for 20 years, you'd have like 1.7. You'd have over $1 million in 20 years. You'd have well over $1 million in 20 years, right? And if you want more money, or if you want to make more money, or you want to make more money faster, then you got to invest more money and or invest it in a vehicle that can get you a higher return, right? The three things you can invest in are stock market, stocks or crypto. That's stocks, crypto, or real estate, and or your own business. Your own business is going to get you the highest return, but it's the riskiest, right? And that's typical. The higher the return, the larger the risk, right? The S&P 500, very low risk, but you know the returns are only 10% a year. You know, if you want higher returns, you got to take a bigger risk, right? And it's all good. Those are levers you have to pull: more money or a vehicle that gets you higher returns, right? And if you want to put more money in, you got to work more, right? This is why once you stop chasing hoses and start planning all your time in your calendar, you're going to have more time that you can allocate toward the allocation of resources, the allocation of capital, all right? And then you'll be making, and if you don't increase your lifestyle, you stop spending money on bullshit, right? Then you can take that extra money, right, after you pay your bills and shit, now you can start investing it. And you want to think of every dollar as a seed that you can plant in the motherfucking soil, right? And it's going to grow and start bearing fruit, right? Or better yet, think of it like a soldier. And his job, every dollar is like a soldier, and his job is to go out and get more dollars for you. You know what I'm saying? But you can't waste this. You can't waste your soldiers. You know what I'm saying? You can't spend your soldiers. Anyway, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Right. So really, you might see me flexing, but it took me mad long to get enough assets to flex with my assets. And so if you flex with money that comes from assets, you can do it all the time. And you'll never go broke doing that, right? Because the money keeps replenishing itself. The assets are making money for you. But if you start flexing with money that you spent working, then you got to go work again for more money. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference. Very difference. You know what I'm saying? Big difference. All right. The first thing I invested in was my online fitness business. That was the first business I started back in like 09, 2010, right? And I was one of the first people doing online training, right? And we had to invent it back then, right? Because nobody was doing it. There was no books, no courses. Nobody was doing it. All of us who were doing it at that time, we had to invent it. We were the pioneers, right? But, you know, I was able to build that into a multi-million-dollar business. Now I teach other people how to start their own online fitness business too. I got a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. If you want to learn how to do it, click the link in the description. Oh, if you want to do that, click the links in the description. That's for the video. Oh, but you know what? Never mind. That link is not in the description right now, right? We're actually doing a free class, a free training where I'll show you how to grow your online fitness business too. It's the first link in the description. It's the first link in the description. Join it. I'm a free class. I'm gonna break down exactly how to grow your online fitness business. I'll answer all your questions. Anything you guys need, I'm gonna make sure you guys leave that session with a game plan on how to really make money as an online trainer. All right. So when you do it, you know, all right, all right. The next thing you need to stop doing if you want to get rich is you gotta quit quitting. You got to stop quitting, and you got to learn how to be consistent, right? You have to be consistent. See, you know, the thing is, anytime somebody wants to start moving towards the path of success in anything, the hardest part is getting started, right? Getting started, you know, actually pushing yourself to start getting some momentum, start getting some motion, right? But once you get some motion and once you get started, it becomes easier. However, motherfuckers don't stay consistent. They stop. And then they have to restart again. But when you restart again, that means you have to do the hardest part over again, right? You have to do the most difficult part over again. And you keep this charade up year after year. You keep stopping and starting, and you keep having to do the most difficult part over and over again. It would have been so much easier if you would have stayed consistent. You didn't quit, right? But one of the main reasons people aren't able to stay consistent is because they're focused on the wrong things, right? So if you have, let's say you have this goal, right? This goal you want to accomplish. I'm going to draw a trophy. I'm a really good artist. Watch. See, I told you, man. I'm amazing. I'm good at a lot of things. All right. So that's the trophy that represents the goal, right? But you way the fuck over here, away from your goal, right? You may look at this shit and you'll be like sad and shit, you know, because, oh man, I'm so far away from my goal. I'll never get that. Oh, and you start crying like a bitch. Oh, you know, that's not even how you looking, man. You ain't got them eyebrows. You got these eyebrows. Yeah, you a bitch, right? And you start looking at this shit like, oh man, I'll never get there. And you might start a little bit, and then you'll look at the goal, and you'll be like, man, I'll never get there. And you quit, or you feel like you're not making progress or not making progress fast enough. So you quit. However, there are a lot of actions you need to take to accomplish this goal, right? There's a lot of actions you need to take to get to this goal. If you were to focus on the actions, if you were just to focus on the actions and the steps you need to take every day, you'd be a lot more focused because you'd be making progress. It's you when you focus on your shit. When you get the right when you focus on the right shit. When you focus on the actions, you get excited on the things you need to do every day, right? Because to accomplish any goal, the stuff you need to do every day, right? And if you just focus on the actions, you wouldn't even have to look at the goal because you know you were going to do it. For example, if somebody wanted to lose 10 pounds of fat, easy game, man. Every pound of fat you want to lose, you have to burn 3,500 calories. So if they track their calories every day, how many calories they burn every day with some sort of fitness tracker, Apple Watch, Oura Ring, Fitbit, Whoop, right? and they tracked how many calories they burn, they tracked how many calories they consumed every day with MyFitnessPal or something, then all they had to do was make sure that they was burning 500 more calories than they consume each day. If they do that every day in a 500 calorie deficit, over a week, they'll burn 3,500 calories, which equals a pound of fat, right? All they would have to do is look at, is that action only thing they would have to do if they wanted to lose 10 pounds was burn 500 extra calories every day. And if they just focus on that every day, they wouldn't even have to look at the goal. They wouldn't have to look at it at all. Because we would know that this person was going to accomplish this goal. And it's like that with all your goals, right? That's why I put together something, and that's not even just me talking, right? There's a study that was published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology. I know you guys read that all the time, man, right? But it showed individuals who focus on the process of achieving their goals were more likely to persist and succeed compared to those who focus only on the outcomes. Boom. And here's that study right there. So it's not just me saying it, right? This is fucking science nerds. They proved it with studies. Go read this study if you want, nerd, or you just listen to a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or you can fucking, if you need the fucking nerds, then the study's right there, right? I put together something to help you accomplish that. I call it the Victory Vision Planner, and it's free, right? Where it's a habit tracker, and it shows you how to break down your goals into different steps and then different habits. And then you can actually plan that throughout the day. I mean, then you could look at that, what you're supposed to do every day. You could track it off. And all you had to do to see if you were making progress, instead of looking at the goal, just look at your habit tracker. And you'll know if you're going to accomplish your goals or not. And when you start filling up your fucking habit tracker with the things, you checking things off every day that you know will help you accomplish your goals, then you're going to be more motivated. You're going to be more focused. And there's a study that proves it. If you focus on the goddamn process, you'll be more motivated and you're more likely to persist and succeed. But if you focus on the goal, you're more likely to fail and quit, because you're gonna get all sad because you ain't there yet, you know. And the beauty of it, once you know what you're supposed to do every day, all you got to do is make today a success. All you got to do is make today a victory, right? And I'll show you my habit tracker real quick. Never mind. Right. All you got to do is make today a victory. Right. You don't have to focus on what's gonna happen a month, a year, fucking 5 years from now. Just focus on making today a successful day. Then make tomorrow a successful day. And you start stringing together successful days, then your whole life will change. You string together 90 of those days, man, you're going to see some real changes in your life, right? But that's another reason why you got to plan every hour of every day in your calendar, because the shit you're supposed to do on your habit tracker, that shit needs to be in your calendar. It's in mine. Look at my calendar. My workout is in there. You know what I'm saying? How much time I'm going to spend with my son is in there. Right. When I'm going to study is in there. Like everything I'm going to do is in there. And then I track that and check that shit off on my habit tracker. You know, very important. Shit, we going over. All right. The next thing you need to stop doing is stop letting your mind control you. You have to learn how to control your mind. And the best way I know to learn how to control your mind and control your emotions is with meditation. So here's a study that was done that showed that just 8 weeks of meditation, it shrunk the amygdala of the volunteers, right? It changed their brain. Now the amygdala is the part of your brain that makes you a motherfucking spaz, right? That's the fear center of your brain, the fight or flight shit, right? Where panic mode comes from, your amygdala. And when you start panicking, your body has a bunch of cortisol, the stress hormone. That's when you start, doing dumb shit and acting like a bitch, right? But just a mere 8 weeks of mindfulness meditation actually shrinks that part of your brain, right? Do you think if the part of your brain that makes you fucking panic was smaller, you think it'd be easier for you to control your emotions? I know it would be. Right. But also there's another study that shows that actually after a few weeks of mindful, after a few weeks of meditation, you participants increased gray matter in brain, they increased the region of gray matter in their brain, and a part of the brain called the neocortex, the amygdala, the neocortex, right? Frontal lobe. This is the part of your brain that's responsible for logic, problem solving, right? Humans have a bigger neocortex than most animals, and that's the reason why we can do things like create languages, invent mathematics, make YouTube videos, where other animals traditionally struggle in those endeavors because they don't have the same size neocortex as us, right? You get more density in that part of your brain after meditation. So check this out. We got studies that show that the part of your brain that's responsible for logic becomes more dense with meditation, and studies that show the part of your brain that makes you a motherfucking emotional spaz starts to shrink with meditation, right? Can't you see how this can help you with your brain? I mean, can you see how changing your brain in that regard may help you with success, right? Because getting rich is stressful. You're going to encounter a lot of problems, a lot of things, a lot of turmoil. All right. And if you don't, and if you out here panicking and you're not thinking logically, it's going to impede your ability to succeed. Meditation is the only way I know to really just calm down and chill, man. Right. And I've been meditating every day, twice a day for about 15 years now. And that's one of the reasons I'm so much cooler than you and calmer than you. Because you a spaz, right? Like your plane is delayed, you start fucking panicking, throwing a fit, motherfucking track. I see motherfuckers cry because I see motherfuckers tripping because it's raining or they in traffic. I'm like, motherfucker, it rains all the time. It's been doing this shit your whole life. You ain't cool. You ain't made peace with that yet. Oh, you in traffic today? Like you expected you just have a fucking unbroken boulevard of green lights indefinitely, right? Like if you spazzing over little shit, man, how you gonna handle the big shit? How you gonna run a fucking big company, right? You know how many problems you got to solve when you got a big successful business? I got 30 employees, right? 30, and that means every time one of them has a problem, that's my problem now. I got to help them solve it, right? Motherfuckers, uncle died because he been smoking cigarettes. He died of lung cancer. That's my problem. I ain't telling him to smoke cigarettes, but I got to help him solve that problem now. You know what I'm saying? I got to panic. I got to figure shit out all the time. It's like having 30 children. Not my video editors. Y'all cool. I love y'all. Y'all the best. I'm talking about the other ones. Especially the ones who aren't editing this video. You're the coolest, man. Right? But you got to be able to stay calm. You got to be able to stay calm, cool as a fan. You got to be calm like James Bond under all circumstances. But if you are spazzing, acting emotional like a child or a woman, it's going to be difficult for you to become more successful. It's just going to be difficult, man. Like straight up. Right? Meditation is the only way I know to become more calm, level-headed, steady as a rock. And you're going to need that to succeed. Otherwise, if you can't control your mind's going to control you. It's probably what it's been doing up until this point. You wonder, oh man, I ain't got motivation. I can't be disciplined because your mind is controlling you, and you haven't learned how to control your mind. And meditation will help you with that for sure. And the last thing you need to do, which is one of the most important, the last thing you need to quit doing. Okay, the last thing you need to quit doing to be successful, which this was one of the most important, is you have to stop being negative. And I don't mean you have to be positive. I'm not telling you to be positive all the time. I'm not telling you to do that, right? I'm just saying stop being negative. I'm gonna give you an example. There was this dude named Bill Buckner. Right, he was the man. He had won all types of awards in baseball. He was the man, and his team was in the World Series. And right before the World Series, he was interviewed. He said, "Yo, the dream is that you're gonna have a great series and win. The nightmare is you're gonna let the winning run, score on a ground ball through your legs. Pause. Those are the things that happen, you know. A lot of it is just fake. All right. Guess what happened? World Series. How you think it ended? Man, that shit happened, bro. It's like that shit happened. You got to stop being negative, man. I'm telling you. I'm not telling you to be positive. Just don't be negative. Like being negative is what's awful, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? You really have to. You have to be. And I'm like that with everything. I won't say anything negative. For example, I never say I can't afford it. I say, yo, I got to find a way to afford it. Right. I never say, oh, I ain't got enough money. I say, yo, I got to find a way to get more money. I won't say I'm thirsty. I say, yo, I got to get something to drink. I don't say I'm tired. I say, yo, I got to find a way to I got to get some more energy. You get what I'm saying? Because all those things are different sides of the same coin. But saying, for example, saying I can't afford it, it's kind of like waving a white flag. It's like waving, you kind of given up. Yeah, I can't afford it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I can't afford it. You throwing your hands up. But if you say, yo, I got to find a way to get some more money, right? It's not like you're being positive. You're not lying to yourself saying, I can't afford it. No, both you're saying, I got to find a way to get more money. But both things are true. But one is like, yo, I give it up. The other one is like, I'm going to figure out a way to make it happen. And you'll find a way, man. You'll find, I promise you, if you focus, you will find a way. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But if you give up mentally, you're just giving up, right? If you're tired, oh man, I'm so tired. You're just going to sit around being tired and you're going to be less effective with whatever you're trying to do. But you say, yo, I got to get more energy. You're going to start looking for ways to get more energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even telling you to be positive. That's something I'm not saying be positive. I'm saying don't be negative. Because sometimes all that positive shit is like you lying to yourself. I'm not telling you to fucking lie to yourself. I'm just telling you not to be a bitch, right? Not to be a bitch, right? You can say, oh man, my day's going so bad. Like, yo, I got to turn this day around. You know what I'm saying? Man, everything sucks. Man, I'm failing at everything. Like, I got to find a way to start winning. Right? Because think about who would you bet on? Same guy in the same circumstance. He said, man, I just keep failing, man. I can't find a way to fucking make no money. Or this guy in the same circumstances, he says, yo, I gotta find a way to get some wins. I gotta find a way to get some money. Which one of those guys you gonna bet on? Right? That guy is you, motherfucker. Right? Because it's going to change the way you approach things. Your words have power, man. I'm telling you, your words have power. Right? And I'm not telling you not to be negative. I'm not telling you to be positive. I'm saying just don't be negative. Right? And everything start changing around you. But you got to stay away from negative people too. Right? So I don't let people around me say shit like that. Like anytime somebody says something like, oh, I can't do that. I say, yo, listen, man, don't say anything about yourself that you don't want to be true. Like I'll stop them immediately, man. Like I don't let people talk like a bitch around me because remember everything's contagious, right? It's not just because I want to help them. It's because I don't want them to hurt me. I don't want that fucking language to rub off on me. I learned English on accident, right? Just from hearing other motherfuckers say it. I don't want to learn that kind of English from this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Bitch nigga English. I want to learn real nigga English. And real nigga English is focused on what are you trying to accomplish? Where you trying to go, man? I'm telling you, man, words are powerful. Words are powerful because words are your thoughts articulated. Words are nothing but your thoughts articulated. So if you say I can't afford it, that means you think you can't afford it. And whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Right. But if you say I got to find a way to get more money, that means you think there's a way to get more money, right? Like it's your thoughts articulated. You'll start seeing different shit, man. Just like that example with the car. When you or one of your friends get a car, you start seeing that car all the time. But if you start saying, man, I can't afford this shit, I ain't got no money, you're going to start seeing more shit in your environment to actually confirm that. But if you say, I got to find a way to get more money, you're going to start seeing more opportunities. You're going to start seeing more paths. I'm telling you, your words are powerful because your words are nothing but your thoughts articulated. Never say anything about yourself you don't want to be true. Because if you say it long enough, it will be true. I promise you that. Right? Because it's going to change the way your brain looks at the world. All right. And if you want to know more about that, I got another video that'll show you more about how you can actually change your brain to become successful. All right, go watch that video right now. All right, let's do these super chats and I'm going to get a bitty.
Did you just smell your armpits?
Yeah, I was like, man, am I
Yeah,
I should probably take a shower.
Richard.
I take 2 or 3 showers a day, and I'm due for another one.
We got Richard. I got a 4.0 this semester because of BBC.
Yo, that's what's up, man. Shout out to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. You know, there's a lot of states where you can go, like, there's a lot of states you can go to college for fucking free. If you got a state scholarship for free, if you got like a decent GPA. In Florida, if you got a 3.5 GPA, you can go to any state school for free. It's called the Bright Future Scholarship, right? In Georgia, you just need a 3.0. Fucking dummies can get a 3.0. It's called the Hope Scholarship. You can go to fucking any state school in Georgia for free. It's like when these motherfuckers be talking about, man, when all these motherfuckers say, man, y'all got to go into debt to go to college. I'm in all this debt. You know what I'm saying? That is an admission of stupidity. Because you can go for cheap, man, if you get fucking decent grades. So shout out for you, brother.
We have Leo. Been investing 50% of my income since last year. So far this year, I've added more than all of last year. Big thanks to you, BBC NYCS.
Come on, man. Yo, man, Leonardo was coming up, man. Shout out to the homie. Guys, man, yo, check this out, man. I'm doing a free training next week on how to actually grow your online fitness business. It's going to be live. I'm going to break down everything you need to know to be an online trainer. I've made millions of dollars as an online trainer, and I've helped over 15,000 people grow their online fitness business. If you want to learn how to do it for free, join that free training. Link is in the description. It's going to be dope. All right, I'll let y'all.